Welcome back to The Perspective on Berita Satu. I'm Blaise Hope. With me in the studio, Anthea Webb from the World Food Programme. So we've spoken about the issues in Indonesia, about World Food Day. How does Indonesia compare to Southeast Asia in general?
So if we look at just the nutrition issue, things are not as good as they should be in Indonesia. Several of the other countries in the region have managed to tackle this issue of malnutrition much more swiftly, and they've made a bigger progress than the others. I think we're on the cusp of that being able to happen in Indonesia, but it's going to take a lot more focus and moving just from policies into implementation. And the way that we need to do that is by bringing everyone on board. So it's not just the job of government, it's not just the job of health workers in the field, but we need private sector on board, we need the media on board, we need community groups and religious groups even to get on board and really focus on this issue and put it to bed once and for all, because we're keeping back such a huge percentage of Indonesia's potential when 1/3 of its population aren't well nourished, or 1/3 of its future population aren't well nourished.
Having said that, it's no longer listed as a developing/emerging country.
Yep. G20 country. Very enviable economic growth compared to many of the other G20 countries. And this is really that area that if they can kick it, I think you'll see a step change in the level of development. But it's not going to be easy, and I think we're going to need to really focus on it very closely. There are plenty of countries that prove it can be done. Thailand, for example, had similar levels of malnutrition 10, 20 years ago, and now they have really much lower levels. So it really is possible to do with the right attention and programs.
So Indonesia met its malnutrition goal for 2015 for the Millennium Development Goals.
It halved the portion of the population who are hungry.
Right.
And now the goal will be for no one to be stunted, no one to be malnourished. So that's a big ask.
2030, do you think it's realistic?
Yep.
With the age of the people that you're measuring, so is it up to 5 years old? So do you see it as in you have 2 cycles or 3 cycles to make that change happen?
It's changing. Nutrition is a generational question. It's hard to do in less than a generation, but if we're focusing now on young women who haven't yet had their babies, by the time those babies are 12 or 15 years old, I would hope that all of them are going to be in a position to be, if not 100% well nourished, then their own children for certain will be. And that's the sort of timeframes we need to be working on. And that's partly why it's such a difficult issue to focus on, because often it's easier to look at what's going to be done in the next year or 2 years. But 15 years should be possible, I think.
What would you say to someone who's about to be a mother?
Wow, take care of yourself. And really think about what are the best options for you and for your baby. And I focus on the you because the baby is important, but what we've learned across so much research and studies is that the health of a woman who's about to be a mother has such a big impact on the future of her family. So on the baby's nutritional state, on its survival to start with, on its nutritional status from birth, on that baby's education level. We know that women who are better educated have better educated children. And on that baby's future earnings, if we want to put it in strict business terms. And so focusing on getting a balanced diet, on making sure that you get access to the right health care, and following all of the steps needed in maternal and child health are really important. Bringing your partner on board so that partner is not just a spectator in the process, but also understands the importance of all of the family getting the right food and the right care.
Anything else you'd like to add before we have to, I'm afraid, go and carry on?
Well, it's an invitation essentially to the media to say, let's make every day World Food Day. I don't think any of us that are watching the show today often go without food for a full day. So each day, let's think about where that food comes from, what we're using it for, and how we can make the best choices for our nutrition and that of our families.
And how can people mark it?
Eat well. Why not? I'd like it for our next goals after 2030 to be everyone eats well, not just zero hunger.
Okay, great. Anthea, thank you so much for joining us.
Most welcome. Thanks very much for the invitation.
World Food Day, Friday, October 16th. Make sure you eat well. For now, though, that's it. From the perspective on Beri Desatu, I'm Blaze Hope. See you next time.